Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this exciting video of the headlining replacement on the Mighty White. So let's just crack on. So I'll make a start on the B-post trims where the seat belts go. As you can see, I've got oatmeal, and it's them are supposed to be oatmeal beigey coloured things, but they've all faded to grey and they're horrible. So without further ado, I've got my glue. It's a high temperature, so it doesn't well, it's not supposed to go brittle and all that and dry out. And obviously the material that I've got, brushed nylon again, and it's foam backed also. It's very thin foam, but hopefully the glue will set straight into that. Then we'll go on there. Left plenty of excess, as you can see, so I need to tuck it under and trim it off afterwards. So as you can see, I've got one bit covered and left a little bit of trimmed off, you know, the excess, and I've just left a little bit there, so then I can glue that and then tack it round so it'll all wrap round quite nicely. And there we are, that's one of them done. So the trick that I've found is to actually, because these have actually got a slight curve to them because of naturally where they fit in the car, I've actually found that it's much better to work from the middle outwards. I suppose really I probably should have just sprayed a little bit of glue there and put the material on and then work in stages, but it is what it is. I mean, at least with the glue setting on that, it still bends, it's still flexible, because it's only adhering to the foam anyway, so it's a case of making it into a bit of a U shape like that, if you like, and then basically just dropping it on the middle and rolling it outwards. Now I really could do with a tripod at this point to actually hold the foam, but if I can just show you one-handed. So as you can see, it's all nicely glued on there on the other side, and all I need to do now is just roll this up little bit by little bit, and that'll be done on both sides. So what I'll do now, trim this excess off, and then I'll give it just another quick going over with the glue on the inside there, and then just tuck it round. So I'm leaving around about 10mm of excess there. Just giving it the plastic bit there just another dousing of glue, allow that to dry. Once that's dried and in position, I can then tuck the material round. So that's just loosely held in position. Yeah, I like that. Obviously now I need to clean those door surround up because they look a bit grubby in comparison. So I've just concentrated on doing the B pillar posts and also the A pillar post trims as well. So those have been recovered as well. So those look absolutely awesome. I'm really pleased with that. The only thing I'm disappointed is that I've got to clean all these. Just shows how grubby they are. So we have had some rain, by the way, and none of the cars wet, so I'm pretty happy that the sunroof doesn't leak. Obviously on the outside seal, that's why you've got your drain things. It is supposed to run in there, but it's obviously everything's working as it should, so I'm quite pleased. So yep, we're steamrolling ahead. So now I'm going to do those C-pillar trims. Wish me luck on that, because I might need to waste a little bit of material. So obviously they are a funny shape, they do go all kinds of different ways, so I'm actually not sure on the best way to do this, because I'm not sure how much the material is going to stretch. I really don't know. I think this may have to be trial and error. Okay, this is going to be fun. So there is going to have to be some snippy bits, but I think I'm going to have to glue these down in stages. So I'm going to start with this bit because this is the flattest bit. Obviously that bit then curls in there, so there's going to need to be maybe cut somewhere along here so it stretches in and tucks around. I'm just going with this and hoping for the best. Basically I'm not having a good time with these. Right, the first one I'll show you, it's a complete cock up and a complete mess. Not really thought this through, if I'm honest. So the first one I did, I tried to do it in one piece, and as you can see, the material doesn't quite go where you want it to, and you have to put pieces in. So this is all going to come back off, and I'm going to go back to the drawing board on that one. But I think what I'm going to do is, when I've pieced another piece in there, obviously it's going to stop around about there. What I'm going to do is, with a piece of material, if I can just show you somewhere, let's just use this bit. Right, what I'm going to do is fold it nice and neatly, of course, and obviously fold it into each other both ends. Can't quite do it one-handed, but anyway, what there'll be an extra folded piece of material, so it's nice and square, added to cover these joints, because it's not going to go well at all, and it looks freaking horrible. Okay, so the drawing board bit went well. Right, so I have done it in strips, and obviously I've got these gaps at the end. So how have I overcome this? I've made my own cuff, if you like, or cover. As you can see there, it's just a piece of the material folded over, and basically how I did it, a strip of material like that, and gently sprayed it with all the adhesive, and let it dry, because it does virtually stick on contact. So just basically made a little cigar shape, so it's like a little tunnel, and then at the very end then flattened it out. So that gave me this nice little cuff, which is now sitting where one of the joins is, across there. Not perfect, not ideal, but I quite like that. I think that looks rather neat. Sorry guys, I ran ahead with myself a little bit. Right, there we go. There's them recovered. Them have turned out really well. Added these little pleats, as you saw earlier. They look quite well. Don't look too out of place. They'll do for me. What else have I done? Sunroof panel in. Although I have got it fricking dirty because of all the gripe that's inside the tray there, but never mind. It'll brush clean, it's no big deal. Losing the will to live, if I'm honest. Anyway, right, back to the workshop area. What I've got here is 50-50 mix of water and PVA glue. So I'm just going to coat the board. This is the top side of the board, the bit you don't see, but I just want to, it is quite soft, if you know what I mean. So I just want to size it up, seal it a little bit. Hopefully it'll help stop any damp getting in. So it's a case of brushing there and brushing it on. So that's all nicely sealed. It's all nice and dry. So as you can see there, the headlining material is cut to size with plenty of hangover. So what I need to do now is make sure that I've got enough either side, and at the front plenty there. It's a lovely material, and this one, unlike the one I had for the trims, this one does stretch a little bit, thankfully, because there are contours in the board, as you can see there, for the rear headroom, and here for the grab handle. So there are recesses in there, and it does stretch quite well. So all I need to do at the moment is give this a coat of glue. I won't go too mad, just do little bits at a time. And what I'll use is a fluffy radiator roller, just to press it into shape, because the glue gets in this foam as well, and on the underside then, once you've laid it all down, any slight pressure on with your hand, you will actually leave an indent. So I've found as well to use a radiator roller, as it was just you spread the load over a little bit. So I'll be starting from round about here, work backwards there, and then work forwards there. Obviously there, need to press in there for the recess for the sunroof handle. So right, let's make a start. So that's the glue applied. All I need to do now is just leave that and wait for it to dry. It does dry rather quick. So let's roll it out and start rolling. So if I just show you, that's the first middle bit in. If I pull this over, you can see there we've gone into the recess there for the sunroof handle. It's all nicely secure and down. Haven't started there into the sun visor recess as well. So while I'd got the help, I actually got straight ahead and got the headlining in the car at least. Right, this is the bit where I could probably do with about 4 people to help me hold it up while I tack it in place, but I'm going to have to come up with some radical thinking, with some broom handles and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's in at least, all looking rather good in there actually. I think I'll just leave it at that. Right, thanks for watching. No, so yeah, the sunroof's open. Obviously I need to cut out my sunroof aperture, cut that part of the material out, but it needs to be tacked up here and glued in before we go any further with that. Put the cuff on there as well. So still plenty to do. Yeah, I think I'll carry on because I don't want that to sag too much there and cause me a problem later on. So we're getting there slowly. Just a couple of crocodile clamps there, just holding the back end of the roof lining up. It's so hard to keep it all clean when you've got a lovely nice clean headlining. Right, so up the front there you can see it's sagging a little bit. Obviously I need to pull that up now and tuck it into the sunroof aperture and fit the cuff as well. Once that's pushed up there, that'll tuck in nicely, and then all that then has to be held in with the cuff. I think I'm not sure, I might just trim round it very carefully obviously, and glue it into there as well, because that's where the cuff fits as well. Might be worth me doing that, I don't know, we'll just see how I get on. Obviously up the front here I've got nothing supporting it apart from a couple of adjustable tent poles, which have worked really well. Well, I can honestly say what an arsehole of a job. I've not liked this at all. Right, still need to trim off all the excess and start putting my posts on. It's been a nightmare getting that cuff on around the sunroof. Has been an absolute nightmare of a job. I might need to go round it later with some pliers just to close it all back up again, because it's absolute pig of a job, but it's done. That bit's done, so I'm quite happy. So we're not quite finished yet, but we're almost there. As you can see there, the newly covered trims are back in place, sunroof bolted up, and the rear one all nicely in. I'm really pleased how those have turned out. I'm so chuffed with that. So I've still got the part of the seat there to fit, and I've also got this side to trim off. So finally, that's the headlining in, all the trims back on, apart from the sun visors. Now the set I have spare are probably worse than the ones I've just taken out, and the ones I've just taken out are not that good anyway. So so yeah, I just need to give this a brush over and clean up where my sunroof has got a little bit dirty inside. Nothing too much to worry about. Just get a little bit of all the bits of dust that have accumulated in there. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far. Obviously I need to get some cleaner on these as well, because they're looking a little bit grubby now in comparison to them. But yeah, all good. We're all good. It's getting there slowly but surely. Let's go and have a look at these sun visors then, and show you what I'm going to be doing. So the sun visors, yeah, all well and good, you may see on that side. Oh dear. Yeah, okay, that's just grubby, but that is basically just like tissue paper. Yeah, what am I going to do, fellas, ladies, gents? Give me a clue. What I'm going to do is I am actually going to pull this off. I think, yeah, looks like I am now. And I'm going to try and figure out a way of putting some new material on there. So what I've done is I've carefully cut away the old material up to the vinyl there, just basically with a sharp Stanley blade, gone all the way along the edge. Yeah, most of it just disintegrated anyway, but fairly easy to do. So as you can see there, that peels back. So I've cut a new piece of material to length. Hopefully that's more or less the right shape. Yes. So I think what I'm going to do is trim off where I need to, obviously, and then what I'm going to do is basically fold this back as much as I can and tuck it in. Well, that fits. Right, so next port of call will be to glue this down, obviously, so it sits nice and flush, nice and level, and then basically literally just glue that back over the top like that. Okay, 3 hours later. Yeah, I've had to start working inside because the rain turned a bit nasty on me. So yeah, that's the passenger side one, the one that was all ripped and disintegrated, all recovered. Yeah, it was tricky, I'm not going to deny that. Still wants a little bit of tidying up, just up corners and things like that. Little bit of glue got here, there and everywhere, but do you know what, that's 100 times better than it were. So I'm now starting on the other one. As you can see, gone really close to that edge there with a Stanley blade. So yeah, no cuts yet, I'm doing well. And that's the sun visors covered and in. Yeah, still a bit grubby around the edges, but I can deal with that later when I start cleaning up the interior, which desperately needs it now, because it's well, looks fairly clean, but yeah, it does need a good clean up now. Bits everywhere, dust everywhere, and God knows what else. But that's the headlining in. I'm very pleased with how that's turned out. Yeah, that's been a heck of a job though. So that's another weekend completed on the Mighty White. I don't think there's that much now I need to do, if I'm honest, on the Mighty White. Might pull the engine out later on in the year, maybe for a winter project, and reshell it and all that. but it's still running, so we're going to leave that alone for now. So really, I think that's it for the Mighty White for the time being. Obviously I've got this little beauty to be getting on with, and I think now's the time to do it. I think there's been a lot of requests for Mrs. Wynne, and yeah, I do need to pull my finger out as such and get working on it. So thank you all for watching and taking the time to have a look and see what we're up to. God knows what we're doing next, but I can pretty rest assured that I'll be working on Mrs. Wynne. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this series on the Mighty White. Stay tuned, take care of yourselves and each other. See you soon. Bye bye. So that's the... oh no. I'll make a start with the whatchamacallit, where the beep there, all done. Right, those oh, for fuck's sake.